I had a chance to hear both the Sideways Forest and the Ever album single and the Ever album today.
Oh, wow.
Very cool. I noticed some of the songs were like more shorter instrumentals, and some of them were more like, full-on songs with you and Suzanne and things like that. Was that just sort of a thing where you just sort of decided, well, why don't we just try seeing what we can do with putting these things in, sort of as like continuity for mood, or?
I think there's only one.
Oh, really?
I think maybe one, there's only one instrumental. I mean, short instrumental, I think. Yeah, it's just like a little mood piece between the songs.
Oh, okay. I guess I thought there were more. Don't mind me.
There is. I'm confused. I can't recall right now. I think there's only that one.
So obviously this is your third album. Is this your third album overall or just for Project? I seem to remember the third album overall.
Yeah, third overall. Yeah, we never made one before.
Right.
Goes downwards.
So now that you're third, how comfortable are you just sort of like, working with the studio and things like that? I mean, by your first album, you're sort of like, okay, let's, get used to it right here. Do you think you sort of have a sort of clear idea of what you want to do and things you want to try differently?
Yeah, I'm always trying different stuff. When we did our first album, though, I had my studio for like maybe, I don't know, 4 years or so.
Ah, okay.
Before that. I mean, I knew what I was doing then, but I guess I know what I'm doing a little bit better now, too. But yeah, we always have this spirit of experimenting, trying different things, having fun, playing around.
Mm-hmm. What would you say, in your opinion, is the most consciously different or new addition to the sound on this album? How would you describe it?
Nothing intentional. Just buying new equipment probably is the biggest thing of all that, and just time going by. I mean, most people I know, myself included, kind of change over time, and as you age, mature, whatever. That the time factor, and just having new toys to play with. I got a new sampler, and that was quite. I don't know. I think that influenced the sound a lot. I was able to do things this time I couldn't have done before that I've always kind of wanted to do, but it frustrated me because I couldn't.
There you go. Do you sort of record the basic tracks just with yourself, guitar first, or with drum machine, or just do you and Suzanne sort of work on things together? How do the songs evolve?
Oh, it's almost always it'll be me first, and I'll get Suzanne in later when the song's fairly completed. Usually, usually she'll have everything there, because there's usually all the guitars and just a very basic drum pattern. I'll finish that later. But this album, I found that it was kind of interesting to leave it, don't have everything down. Have the basic tracks for her to sing on, then after that I'll go and add different new guitar parts that her vocals inspired me to do. A little more interaction than just giving her, here's a song, sing on it, let me finish it.
Right.
Let me do more stuff to it.
Does she write most of the lyrics? I'm looking at her past albums and I can't see any specific credit for whether it's just you all music and her all lyrics or not.
Yeah, she pretty much handles it. I mean, I shouldn't say all, like 100% always. I mean, occasionally I'll suggest something to her, and it'll be it'll be something she uses. But I mean, for the most part, yeah, that's what she does. She does all that stuff: the vocals, lyrics, melodies. I help her out with harmonies sometimes, but she pretty much handles all that stuff.
What do you ever have a conscious sense of sort of like trying to move beyond your own influences? I mean, everybody who's a musician or creative in any way obviously is very conscious of the fact of people who inspire them, things like that. Do you sort of ever want just this feeling of like, okay, I'm going to try and make sure I don't sound so much like on a recording and things like that, or just say to heck with it, I'll just sort of let it evolve the way my tastes go?
I don't know really. It's hard to say exactly, like, which bands I listen to are my influences and which bands I listen to are not. I just kind of, I guess everything I listen to somehow or another somehow gets mixed up in with what I make,
right.
I suppose. That's a tough question, because I don't know what I'm trying to get away from or what I'm trying to be like, as far as the influences part goes. I just kind of go and start messing around, and kind of hard to describe, but I'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
Did I answer that at all?
Let's see. It's interesting. I'm thinking of folks like when I had a chance to interview Sue Young Park of Seam some time ago, and I'm also thinking of other artists like there's obviously James Iha, the Smashing Pumpkins, and then there's you. It always seemed to me that Asian Americans seem to be sort of like almost this invisible minority in any form of modern music, but almost seems to be sort of like more growing and conscious. Do you have any particular take on that?
I never really thought about that, to be honest with you. Yeah, it's never dawned on me. No, I don't know what to say. I never thought about that. I just go and make music. I really don't think about. I just forget what I'm actually mixed up of a bunch of different stuff too. I'm Chinese. I'm English and Scottish and I don't know, some other things too. I think.
So a nice little pool of stuff, and it's like, oh, hey, here I am.
Yeah, I think my genes are all mixed up. That's why I make the music I do.
So there you go. Shifting to live performances and things like that, how is it a matter of recreating the songs in a live context? Do you try and consciously do different things, different arrangements on stage, or how do you see the live performances different from like recording in studio?
Yeah, well, for one, I kind of see it as a whole different way of looking at music almost. I mean, I guess for other bands it might be kind of natural to like play live and then try to record that later. For us, it's the other way around. We record, and later on I have to figure out, well, I had to figure out, like, gee, if we're going to do this live, how are we going to do it? And there's many different ways, you know, we could have gone about it. And the way I chose was, I don't know if they told you how we do it. It's just essentially the two of us, and we don't have any backing tapes, or we don't have any like sequencers or keyboards or anything. Just Suzanne singing and me playing acoustic guitar, and that's it. I mean, occasionally she'll play a little tambourine bit or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
God, I'm having trouble thinking. What was the point? Why was I going off on that? What did you ask?
Do you consciously see like, you know, live performances being different from studio performance, or how do you equate the two, or are they very strongly different in your mind?
Yeah, I think they're pretty different. I mean, the studio's one thing. We're just kind of sitting there working and experimenting and messing around, and we have fun and all when we record, but live's a whole different thing. I've noticed, I've learned after playing a few shows that live is more about getting this kind of energy or, and in a best case scenario, a certain kind of like magic power happening when you play live, and that, you know, that's not really what we're worried about in the studio. We're, you know, live are more concerned about getting a nice atmosphere where we play at, and just ourselves getting into the actual performance that we're doing, and having a vibe going on between us and people listening to us. And one thing that surprised me too is I didn't know how possible that would be with just our stripped down live sound, you know, just acoustic guitar and voice. Thought you might need all this other drums and all this other stuff to do it, but I found that our acoustic set's probably much better than we'd be if we had all this other stuff like tapes and 5 other musicians with us. It works out really good. I was very surprised when we did our first show. Yeah, I think this will work. Okay.
And just sort of evolve from there. What's been the worst show you ever played?
What's the worst show we ever played?
Yeah, what's the worst show? The best shows.
First show or worst show?
Worst.
Worst. It's hard to say because, like, when I look at, like, you know, a good show or a bad show, there's different criteria. I mean, you know, how, like, worst in the sense of like overall just the mood happening, or us
how about
hurrying up all over.
How about worse in the sense of, God, I hope I never have to go through that again.
That the most recent show we did in San Francisco was we weren't too excited while we were playing. I don't know. For me, I think maybe that one just sticks out because it's the most recent one. But that definitely wasn't a fun one.
Right. What are the current touring plans actually with the new album?
Well, we don't like tour like in the sense of like I don't know, like, you know, 5, 10, 30 shows out. We'll kind of do 1 or 2 off. Last year, our biggest tour was 3 shows on the East Coast, and that really felt like we were doing the rock and roll on the road thing. You know, it's like, gee, another show tonight. You know, it's like, God, drive 200 miles to another town. We did Boston, Philadelphia, New York.
Right.
And this year we just did a few shows: Mexico City, Chicago, Los Angeles, and San Francisco. Just kind of one-offs, scattered throughout the year. Upcoming tours, we have nothing definite plans yet. I'm thinking next year, maybe spring, we'll start up again. Maybe we'll do some local thing here, perhaps before then. I'm thinking maybe next year, spring, going out and doing some more 2-offs, 1-offs. I don't know, scattered about.
I've heard about the Mexico City show because I remember there was some it was like almost like a get together of a bunch of different bands there of interest, things like that. How was that like? I've heard rumors that the Mexican scene. I will not use the G word, but the Mexican I'm not GOTH scene is rather strong and vibrant and things like that, and that like bands like yourself and other bands on Project and other labels, associate labels, let's say, have a pretty strong audience down there.
Well, the first part of the question, the G thing, I don't know. I think I've seen it stronger in some of the shows that Project was behind, like their Project Festival. That was pretty much a Gothic festival, albeit we had a pretty good reaction to most people that were listening. The Mexico shows, Mexico's, I don't know, it's kind of just a like, it was kind of typical of our kind of audience. It's just a mishmash of all different kinds of people. We tend to attract an extremely diverse type of audience, all types of music bands, or people in different kinds of music, different age groups and such. Yeah, there were goths there, but there were all kinds of, I don't know, whatever, any other kind, fill in the blank. They were probably there much. But yeah, they're a very enthusiastic crowd. We found it was our biggest show. That was a weird show. We never played to so many people before. It was just kind of weird. But they were cool, actually, performance-wise. We were doing pretty bad that night. That was probably unfortunately, one of our worst performances as far as our musicianship went. But they were very energetic, and we kind of fed off that and kind of helped us out. They actually made our evening go a little better.
That's cool. Let's see. What more musically would you like to do in the future? Do you see yourself working strictly within the Love Spirals Downwards context, or do you want to try and maybe just sort of just other things solo with other musicians, perhaps? Or how do you see what you do?
Oh gosh, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. I've started making stuff. Again, since we finished Ever about maybe 3 months ago, and I've started some new stuff since. I don't know what it's going to be yet. I don't know if it's Love Spirals Downwards or something else. I'll worry about that later, I suppose. I don't know. I don't have this big grand scheme or plan. I may stop soon, or I may go for another 10 years. I don't know.
Let's see. Noticing on the Sideways Forest single, you had the remix, very interesting one, that you had for Sideways Forest on there. Do you want to try and perhaps maybe do more of that, or was that just sort of a one-off experiment like this? Let's see how this turns out, or?
No, that's kind of the new stuff I'm making. It's more like that. More, I don't know what the word is, ambient, electronic, trip hop. I don't know what words get thrown at that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's really the kind of music I listen to a lot. Kind of funny, I listen to lots of electronic stuff, and most of my music's very acoustic guitar based. I don't know. I go back and forth. I like making just very pure acoustic music, and then I like to just get full on into my analog drum machines and samplers and just tweaking knobs and stuff. just to keep things fun. I tell you, that's one reason why I like doing music. It's fun. It makes me happy when I do it. And I guess if I did too much of one thing, I'd get kind of, at least for me, I'd get kind of burnt out. And I don't know.
What do you see as just an influence on your, shall we say, art in general beyond music? Is there anything just like books, art, things like that sort of feeds into sort of like what you do and what you try and create?
Good question. I don't know if books really influence what I do. I guess it's just maybe life, philosophy, art, all that stuff just kind of is integrated, or is all part of. I guess there's like a core to my thought. It all is kind of integrated together. Music, religion, art, philosophy is all kind of stuff that's, I don't know, what stuff that influences me and my views, my world views, my art. It's all kind of the same thing. So yeah, and then I do listen to music to get influenced by that.
Right. Let's see. About your art, is that something for the albums and the singles, things like that? Is that something you have ideas for, or just entrusted to the folks at Project to come up with something, or?
Oh, the covers and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that, or?
Yeah.
No, I wish I could do it. No, I wish I didn't even have to have art on our albums. It's for me. I'm the one that's trying to find find it, and I don't know how to do this kind of stuff. I mean, as far as like photography, and I wish I did. It looks like a fun thing to get into, but now it's just a matter of me going through hundreds and hundreds of photos of my friends' and finding something I like, and it's usually an ordeal.
Right.
I wish I didn't have to do it.
It's just something like, okay, let's do it now.
I kind of wish someone else could and take care of it for me, but then I probably wouldn't like it, and I'd blame them for picking crap. So I guess this is what I gotta do.
that would tend to do it. So let's see. A final question then, maybe to wrap it up. Would you describe yourself as a satisfied artist? Not necessarily permanently satisfied, but overall, do you think like, yeah, I've got something going here that I can work with, or do you always find yourself a bit restless, or feeling like you could always do more, or do a bit better, or?
I guess it depends on what day you ask me that question.
Okay, well, how do you feel right now then?
I don't know. Today I'm not too ecstatic about things, but I mean, that can change. I guess I kind of have my ups and downs about doing music and I don't know, pursuing doing music. I don't know. It's kind of a weird. I don't know what you want to call it, pursuit or livelihood or business or whatever. I don't know.
It just sort of happens, and there it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Good deal. Okay, well, thanks. So I'll just take out speakerphone here for the end here. I'll kill the tape right here.